what is the Brave Code about? Yeah. And most importantly, what inspired you to go through this journey and share with us?
Thank you, Silas, and thank you very much for everyone for attending this morning. It is not lost on me that we're all busy and we've got things to be doing, so I really appreciate all of you being here this morning. And GIBS, my alma mater, always shows up for me. Thank you. So the Brave Code, what is it all about? I think you're right. It wasn't designed necessarily to be an extremely technical book. So it's not your typical management practice book. It wasn't a specialist technology or digital book either. It is more of the chapter of the life that I'm living currently and trying to capture that into a very practical application into the world of business and leadership today. So the way I like to think about it is an honest reflection around the journey in the last 3 to 5 years. And you'll see by my style of writing, and even the first book I wrote, I don't write about things that I've never experienced. So it's based on the lived experience and what I continue to experience. But it's more a posture as opposed to anything else. The posture, and it's a philosophy around how we should be responding to the environment that's fundamentally changed. We've got an opportunity to reset a number of different things, which includes how we lead, how we manage, and how we show up. And the kind of value that we create for the world that we now live in. And so the Brave Code really seeks to articulate that. Very fortunately, I use the backdrop of the Brave Group, which is an investment we made a number of years ago. And so a lot of the ideas, a lot of the theory, and a lot of the notions and concepts I speak about in the book are actually things that we have tested, done, and tried within the context of the Brave Group, which is an advertising agency that's having to reinvent itself. And notwithstanding the fact that it's impacted by technology trends and all the rest of it, but it's really finding how we can create a posture for our leaders to understand the problems that we have to solve. So that's really what it's about. And the inspiration is the fact that if we don't document some of the pain that we go through and some of the experiences we have, I think we're not doing any favors for those that come after us. So I'm always inspired by trying to share a little bit of what I've experienced with those that will be occupying spaces when I'm no longer there.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for that. And you make references to a disrupted, changed world, changed society, and everybody want if you can perhaps encapsulate it for us in terms of what is your understanding or what is your lived experience of a disrupted business context and as well as a societal context.
Yeah. So we've all lived through COVID, and we're very much in the post-COVID era. But there's certain things that shifted that will never return to how they were. And one of the things that for me became very important to understand is how I responded to those changes, as opposed to get frustrated that those changes weren't responding to me. I'll give you a very simple anecdote. One of the businesses I'm involved with is called Bridge Labs. And Bridge Labs has a number of young software engineers, average age 20, 21, 22. So these are fresh off the boat from a varsity perspective. And my style in terms of leadership, because I'm a millennial, is we like PowerPoint, we like Excel, we like Outlook, right? So those of you that are millennials in the room will identify with this. Yeah. And for us, that represents productivity. It represents how we create stuff together. And so I always used to send emails to these software engineers. When I saw something interesting, I'd send an email about how interesting the thing I saw was. When I had an idea, I'd send an email about this idea. And the whole concept was me trying to get them to collaborate with me. But every single time I sent an email, I got no response. No response. And for about 3 or 4 months, I thought maybe they're just being chacharach. I thought these guys just don't want to, conform. Yeah. And then I thought, let me sit down. Let me ask them what the problem is. So I sat them down around the table. I said, hey guys, I'm always sending you emails. I'm trying to stimulate you. I'm trying to, collaborate, but I hear nothing. And so one very brave engineer, Benji, put up his hand and said, Musa, you know what? We hear you on your emails. But the problem is when we receive emails from you, it's the same thing as you receiving a mail in the post, right? That's how we feel about your attempt to collaborate. Oh. Right? Yeah, that's a big. For me, I was like, would I collaborate with someone who sent me an email, a post? And I said, absolutely not. Now, my paradigm around productivity was emails work, and I even send myself reminders via email. You know, millennials, you send a one liner in the text box. Don't forget to send, or that's how we work, because that's how we've known productivity, because that's a technology that existed in a time when we came into the world of work. Now we've got these young people who are going, I don't get it. I don't get emails as a formal, as a way to collaborate. In fact, for them, emails should be, if you want to fire me, if you're trying to hire me, and you're trying to tell me something that's burning, that's what you should use emails for. Right? So I thought to myself, okay, well, that means my paradigm is fundamentally incorrect. It means that I understand productivity to be different to the way they create value. And so we went on a whole journey to understand what it meant to have tools that enabled them to be more productive. And so the generation that comes after us are very much, they were born in the generation of social media, right? So the ability to feel like productivity is a social exercise is core to getting the best out of them. So, platforms like Asana, Monday.com, Trello, yada, 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 are productivity tools that for them don't feel like it's work. It's more chat-based, it's more interactive, all the information is one place, it's transparent, and all those things, which are really positive things. Now, for us that come before, we looked at that and we thought, well, it doesn't really feel like work because it's not an email. But that paradigm shift in itself is understanding how to take my own notion around creating value and challenge that with a new experience. So that's a very practical example of what it means to be alive to the world that has changed around you, and the definite things that you should be doing to think about it fundamentally differently.